So far, over 7,000 targets tied to Iran and its military infrastructure have been hit with precision, a show of overwhelming force rather than incremental action. Today's operations are set to mark the largest strike yet, surpassing even yesterday's intensity. As emphasized from the beginning, American military capabilities continue to grow stronger, while Iran's operational assets are systematically declining. Through calculated strikes, the relentless dismantling of hostile threats continues. At a U.S. military base located in the United Arab Emirates, the tireless efforts of ground crews on AH-64 Apache attack helicopters underscore the intensity of this mission. Around the clock, these teams refuel, rearm, and maintain the attack helicopters that serve as a crucial component in neutralizing threats in the Strait of Hormuz. The base operates as the primary launch pad for American pilots tasked with eliminating Iranian Shahed drones that have been targeting U.S. installations, Allied positions, and oil tankers passing through this critical waterway. Once resupplied, some Apaches lift off toward naval vessels stationed in the Gulf, landing on flight decks where they remain ready to deploy. Others fly directly into the strait for active patrols. The rotation is ceaseless. Aircraft launch, return, and reposition between ships and land bases. When Iranian drones appear on radar, the vessel's combat information centers detect and classify them as hostile. Information is immediately relayed to Apache crews, whether positioned on ship decks or airborne in patrol zones. Once orders are issued, pilots on standby quickly ignite their engines to take off within minutes, while those already in flight swiftly maneuver toward the threat. The Apaches engage with precision, shooting down drones before they reach their targets. Each helicopter either returns to the ship for swift reloads or heads back to the UAE for comprehensive rearming. At the ground base, maintenance crews work methodically to fully reload and prepare each helicopter for its next mission. Hydra 70 rocket pods, unguided 19-round systems, are replenished with up to 76 rockets loaded per Apache. Additional armaments include fresh belts of high-explosive rounds for the 30mm chain gun beneath the nose. The final step involves mounting AGM-114 Hellfire missiles on rail launchers attached to stub wings. These laser-guided anti-tank missiles are capable of obliterating heavily armored vehicles and fortified targets. Every munition is secured, each system inspected, ensuring that the helicopter is mission-ready once more. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the region, logistical operations ensure uninterrupted support. At a desert airstrip near the UAE base, a C-17 cargo plane lands with a partially disassembled Apache destined for assembly and deployment. Upon deplaning begins a carefully orchestrated process. Crates containing rotor blades, tail rotor assemblies, stub wings, weapons pylons, avionics panels, and munitions are unloaded alongside the helicopter's airframe. A team meticulously maneuvers the fuselage down the aircraft ramp, a painstaking operation requiring precision to avoid damage to sensors or weapon systems. Once on solid ground, the Apache is moved to an assembly site where crews restore it to operational status. Rotor blades are fastened, tail rotors and drive shafts are secured, avionics components are reattached and tested, and weapon systems, including rockets, Hellfire missiles, and chain gun ammunition, are loaded and calibrated. Only after every system undergoes rigorous checks, from hydraulics to flight controls, is the aircraft cleared for flight. Even as ground crews labor intensively on resupply efforts, the conflict remains unyielding. On a naval vessel stationed in the Strait of Hormuz, alarms sound again as radar detects another wave of incoming Iranian drones. One of the Apaches immediately powers up its engines and its rotors whir into action. Within moments, it ascends into the sky and zeroes in on the approaching threats. The onboard sensors lock onto targets as the pilot maneuvers skillfully into position. With calculated precision, rounds from the chain gun rip through the drones mid-flight, sending them plummeting into the waters below. After confirming successful hits, the pilot relays details of the engagement back to the command ship while preparing for whatever comes next. Through relentless coordination on land, at sea, and in the air, these efforts illustrate an unyielding commitment to safeguarding interests in one of the world's most strategically significant regions.